was just heading out to my dad's house, but the mailman is coming around the corner. I've been kind of waiting for something, so let's go see if he's got what I'm looking for. Ooh, this is cool. This is cool. Guess what we got? Maybe, I hope. I'm gonna take it out to my dad's and we'll see. Hey, it's Don from the Nearly Historical Railroad channel. So we do model railroading stuff, and we just kind of show you what we do. So, anyways, hold on. Okay, it's better. So anyways, things, so many things. So I was out here the other day because it was like nice outside and it was daytime. So I got more rock mold stuff done on the Palisades area. So I'm going to show you that in that video. That's pretty cool. And something about our narrow gauge layout. We have a lot of trackage, a lot of miles, you could say, of narrow gauge track. And well, let me show you something real quick. Okay, so this is the narrow gauge layout. You guys have all seen this. If you've been watching the videos, you'll see all the stuff that we've changed on it, stuff we've added, all the trackage. If you haven't, you should probably go back and catch up on those videos. Anyways, here's a little bit of a secret though that we have with this layout and all this track. We have several Colorado Southern brass locomotives. So we're gonna look through the Como roundhouse here, and here are some of those locomotives. So these are all brass, and we have actually a few others. Here's a Key Imports one that I actually bought many years ago from somebody. Here's a Lambert one, so there's multiple brands. Here's another Sunset Models brass locomotive that, again, I bought that one years ago. So, and I think we even have some others around also. I've got a list somewhere that I made of all the different brands and what they are and whatever. So they have one thing in common. They are all DC. And we've converted this layout to DCC. So we don't run any of these locomotives. I know my Sunset Models one, it runs great, but that particular model had problems with the gear and it's kind of stripped out. It needs work, and it's DC also. So I barely have time at home to build the town of Romley, and I just don't have the time to sit and tinker with locomotives and get them converted to DCC. It's my phone.
Thank you. I'll notify the mayor.
So anyways, now that the phone's done, so I don't know what my train of thought, that was kind of funny. I wasn't even trying for that. So I barely have time at home to build turnouts and to build the town of Romley. I'm feeling bad. These people are displaced. They need a town. I don't have time at home to do this stuff. And I don't have time to tinker around with locomotives. I want to get them going. I want to get them converted. I know it can be done. There's a web page out there that tells you like everything you need to do it, but it doesn't come with time. So Jim actually has one of them, and he's, I think, working on converting it over. We'll see what happens, but it's half converted. So the point is, got a lot of locomotives and can't run any of them. So what we do have, let me show you. A while ago, I bought this Blackstone locomotive, number 456, Rio Grande. Bought that because I knew I could pull it out of the box. It's gonna look great, it's gonna run great. I can stick it on the track and have something to run. And I'm glad I did that. And yes, I know it's not a Colorado Southern, nor is it one of the Rio Grande locomotives that the Colorado Southern leased, or maybe it was a Denver, South Park, and Pacific Railroad. I don't remember for sure. I'm sure somebody knows. But anyways, it runs, it works great. And we have something that runs on the narrow gauge track. And Before I had bought that locomotive, my dad had bought this Blackstone locomotive, Rio Grande number 345. Again, so we would have something to run on the layout. And we actually only had this locomotive for quite a while. And that was the only thing, the only motive power that we had to run trains on the narrow gauge layout. So as you may or may not know, Blackstone, they make great locomotives and everything, but they haven't been able to for a while because of factory issues back in China and whatever reasons. They haven't been able to produce anything right now. So you can't buy anything new from Blackstone. You might find something in a hobby store somewhere, whatever, that's a different story. I haven't been able to get anything. So now looking back, when I bought mine, I should have bought 2 or 3 back in the day when you could get them. So for like years now, I've been like contemplating, so that brings us to this box. So finally, after watching for months how things go and trends and stuff on eBay, I clicked the button. And a few days later, this showed up. My credit card's a little thinner, paid more than you would for retail, but not crazy more, but more. I'm not gonna go crazy, and I'm not gonna spend $300-400 more than you would for retail. So I think probably $50 over retail actually was what I paid for this. So anyways, it just showed up as I was coming over to my dad's house. So anyways, I'm gonna open this up. We're gonna get it out. We're gonna test it. Hopefully it all works fine. And we will have 3 running locomotives for this whole thing. If you know any good deals on locomotives, well, just saying, maybe. We packed it really well, which I see this. It's a huge box. Ooh, piece of paper. Thank you for your purchase. Bubble wrap. Okay, I was just kidding you guys. I didn't get a locomotive. I actually got some applesauce. He's serious, he packed this well. When I first saw the box, I thought maybe it was a mail-in ballot. I guess we're doing an unboxing right now. This is the knife without the hydro cowl stuck to it. You can pack a cat and all this. Oh, look, it's a Blackstone box. Let's move this out of the way. Air pocket. Paperwork, all the CDs, phone, and a locomotive. It's number 347 with the green boiler. Looks like all the packaging is there. That's cool. Quite happy. Like, I'm one that like looks at something for a long time and finally will click the button and it's like, oh my god, I gotta go ahead and buy it. Ah. All right, we're gonna set this on the old programming track and see what happens. Look at the wheels and stuff. Sometimes on a little metal pickups, it collects a lot of dirt. Actually looks really clean. Oh, I made a sound. It makes sounds? I don't recall if the listing said that it was new or not, but I think it pretty much was new. It's really clean. It's not even dusty, so. 347. Whoa, it's already got the number programmed in. Ooh.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. We'll go stick it. Oh, we'll go stick it up by the other one because I know I cleaned the track up there. It runs It's cool. I didn't mention it in one of the other videos, but the rails on this bridge were like not enough spikes and things were just like flying off the bridge. So glad I got that fixed now. This is good. We have 3 running narrow gauge locomotives now. All right. So just real quick, I just thought I'd consist them and see if they're anywhere close to each other. They're not connected right now, but see what happens. Okay, so don't look to me for consisting tips or anything like that. So, or testing, whatever. They look pretty close to me. I'm gonna stick them together and we'll see what happens. Well, it's exciting for me. Maybe you guys have a bunch of locomotives and whatever, but this is cool. I like that their chuff is kind of out of sync with each other. It sounds really cool. Let me show you where I've gotten with the Palisades. Over there. So here's a picture I've been staring at for years and I've wanted to recreate this. So this is where I've gotten. So this is good. I've got basically all this from here all the way to the end down there done. Not the lower half, but I do have like all the wall done, I think. And the cool thing too is I stuck our biggest locomotive on here and I ran it through here and it did not hit anything. It cleared all the way. There's a couple spots that was a little close, so I went ahead and kind of shaved those down just to be safe. But I was kind of surprised. Scott's here. So, like, daylight savings time just ended, and I don't know. I'm just tired. It's weird. I don't feel like standing. I was gonna paint or whatever. It doesn't matter.
And I even wore my good shoes.
Scott is here, and he wore his good shoes. He brought something though for us to take a look at.
You should see my good shoes, by the way.
So Scott bought this as DC.
Yes.
But DCC ready. So then he got a Tsunami 2 sound decoder for it. Got that put in. Blew out the lights somehow.
Yeah.
Time has passed, and now he's got LED lights in there going. Right?
Yes.
That's what he told me.
In a short version, yes.
Okay, I summed it up.
You did, big time.
So, guess we're running trains. So much for the work night. It's okay. It's okay. We're running trains.
While this locomotive was going in for a refit, it was actually going in also for a paint job. Well, they were not allowed to use lead paint anymore, and this was their first time trying something new with a different type of paint. I do believe it was water-based. And it was in Roseville that they were painting it. And when they put it in production, it was literally peeling off in sheets. That's why it looks the way it does. Some people call it the Desert Storm look because it was in the 90s. But It's just that version of paint where it's just coming off. It had nothing to do with any tribute of any arms of any sort.
Runs well.
It runs very well. Very prototypical for engine that size.
So now here's something else. So Scott has decided, and he's come to the realization that he likes to collect the oddball stuff.
Yes, I do.
So this is a Southern Pacific tank car that they, I don't know, commissioned or whatever to carry fuel. Because when they were traveling through places like Texas, it was super expensive for fuel. So they thought they would bring some along with them. And for whatever reasons, I guess it didn't really pan out that well.
These are brand new tankers for the time for what they were. And I know BN, Burlington Northern, had ordered quite a few of these, and they used them even in between the locomotives. And they were specially designed to be able to pull fuel out of these tanks into the tanks of the diesels so they could run for an extended period of time. This thing weighs a lot too because it's got a lot of lead in it. I know that these things did not have brakes. And it had no MU unit unlike BN, Burlington Northern. And even though that this was ran down south in the 1980s, they were ran by GP40s, and they were ran by Cotton Belt. And so what I'm doing is not really prototypical, because I don't have any GP40s.
Or you could say it's nearly historical.
Nearly.
Had to throw that in. I had to. Right. The train we were running with Scott's locomotive is just a tiny bit too heavy. These tank cars are super heavy, so my dad's bringing locomotive over here and picking up two of the tank cars, take those off, make the train a little bit shorter. So,
Cut.
I showed you what we did on the Palisades. Showed you new locomotive, steam locomotive. Showed you Scott's locomotive he's got going. We just kind of ran trains. You know, we haven't really done that in a while. And things actually ran really well. That's pretty cool. Those cars on the narrow gauge locomotives, they're really light, and I just threw them on. It's like, oh, let's see what happens. I think there might be some wheels that are out of gauge a little bit, but ran kind of okay. But so anyways, I don't know. That's it. We didn't build anything. We didn't work on anything, but that's okay. We had fun. This is why we do this, because we just got to hang out together and just talk about nothing.
In this awkward time of this
awkwardness of this year.
Stuff and junk.
Yes. So anyways, that's it. You know, subscribe if you haven't already, please. And ring the bell so you get notifications. New videos come out, hit the little thumbs up thingy, because, I don't know, people say YouTube like that.